Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Well and Worthy Life. I'm so excited that you are back here with me today. I've got another solo podcast. And so I've been thinking about this fashion thing. Okay. So it's funny because on Instagram, I have gotten so many questions about what I'm wearing and all the things. Will I send a link? And so for so many years, I've really resisted that. And I have made a change. I am now more active on Like to Know It. So I've got the link in my show notes on my Like to Know It page. And I'm also more active on my Amazon storefront. And that will be in my show notes also. So I'm sharing more about what I'm wearing in my everyday life because that is one of the questions I get asked a lot of. And to be honest with you, I do feel like it's not necessarily a part of my health journey, but I definitely am more confident when I'm more put together. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know I'm not always put together, right? I don't always put makeup on and always look just perfect, but clothes and fashion are a part of who I am. I've always loved clothes. And to be honest with you, I probably have never shared this with you guys, but my mother was a model back in the day. I think she started modeling before I was even born. And she modeled, if you've been around Birmingham for a long time, Birmingham, Alabama, she modeled for Loveman's and was in the newspaper. And I have some really cool modeling photos of her. Somehow I'll have to share them with you sometime. But anyway, so she was a model and so she always had some of the coolest clothes and she was just beautiful anyway. And then when I was a little girl, she got me into modeling with her. So I would do fashion shows with her. And I even did some commercials with her when I was a little girl. We moved to Florida when I was in third grade. So all of that kind of stopped once we moved away. But anyway, so you can imagine fashion has always been a part of my life. And so I've always loved clothes and I've always had a closet stocked full. And then you may know I got remarried. I'm on my third husband. 9 years ago, almost 10 years ago, it's about 9.5 years ago, to my husband, who his family owns Gus Meyer in Birmingham. And then they have a location in Nashville too, which I used to shop Gus Meyer before I was even married to him, but even better now, right? So anyway, I love fashion. So I'm really sharing more of my links on Instagram. So if you are following me there, you can find it there. If you're not on Instagram and you still want to know, like I said, we've got it in the show notes and also on my website, you can find it. So I am sharing more. So I thought it would be a really good episode to do a episode on fashion, midlife fashion, and kind of what I think and if I think there's any rules. So spoiler alert, I don't think there's any rules, okay? Because it's just like our health and wellness journey. We all are different and we all have different styles and everything else. So I think that, to me, I don't think that there should be any rules, because I think if you feel confident in what you're wearing, that it all comes across, right? But I think that's the most important thing, that you feel confident in what you're wearing. So should you change as you get older? And I don't necessarily think you should change as you get older, but I do think we do evolve as we get older. I definitely think my style has evolved, but I have to tell you a funny story. So I love jean shorts. I love jean shorts. I always have. I have worn them. I mean, my first pair of jean shorts I had was in college, maybe before then, and I still have jean shorts. That's one of my go-tos. I love them. And my mother passed away 8 years ago, but before she passed away, she said to me, so I was in my 50s. Yeah, because I was 50 when she passed away. So she said to me, Deanna, how long do you think you can wear those jean shorts? And I said, well, Mother, I don't know, as long as I feel good in them. And that's the way I think we should do. I don't think like we reach a certain age and we shouldn't wear whatever. As long as we feel good in it and feel confident in it, then why can't we wear it? I don't think there should be any rules. Um, but I do have some tips. Let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tips I have for you on midlife fashion. And so I want to go over those 5 tips and then stay tuned to the end because I'm going to share with you the one item that I think everyone needs in their closet. Okay. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm wearing it right now. Okay. So then it's really spoiled, right? If you're watching this on YouTube. But okay, so let's start out. Number one, I think you have to find your style. What is your style? I mean, there's so many different styles. I even Googled styles before I started recording this podcast, and there were so many different styles. But I'm thinking like, is it classic? Is it boho, preppy, casual, sporty? Like, what is your style? Find your style and kind of, stick with that. And you can kind of intermix things, but you're going to be more confident if you're wearing your style. And I would say my style is mostly classic, but with a tendency of kind of a boho sometimes too, because I do like that kind of look also. So you can have more than one style, right? I mean, and it depends on the situation. But if I had to just pick one, it would be classic for sure. But boho is definitely in there for me. So you have to find your style and then wear it proud. Like I said, I mean, who cares what other people think? We tend to dress for others so much, and we really need to dress for ourselves and how we feel the most confident, because it will come across in the way we talk to people. It will come across in the way we carry ourselves. It will come across in our actions. It just comes across everywhere. And then also it can come across in your health and wellness journey, because if you feel confident, you're making better choices, right? I mean, it just makes sense. Like if you feel vibrant and alive and everything, you're going to make better choices than if you feel dumpy. I hate that word. Like, but you know what I mean? Like if you feel like you're just like looking gross and, so you really find your style and step into that style. And it's not like that you have to have this huge wardrobe, because you really don't. I find I have a lot of clothes. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I love clothes, so I have a lot of them. But I find myself wearing the same things over and over and over. I go to the same 1 or 2 pair of jeans every time. I go to the same 1 or 2 shirts or button downs, jackets, that kind of thing. So it's not like you have to have a ton of things, but have the things that really make you feel like, yeah, this is me. This is my style. Like even when you're shopping with your friend, have you ever been in that situation where you're shopping with your friend and she's like, oh my gosh, this is so you, right? Or you tell your friend, oh my gosh, this is perfect for you. This looks exactly what you would wear. So if you don't know your style, ask your friend what she thinks your style is, because your friend probably knows what your style is. Okay, so find your style first. This is the second thing. Make sure your clothes fit. I think this is a big mistake so many of us have made in the past, is that maybe as we've transitioned to perimenopause and menopause, maybe our clothes are getting a little tight, right? And instead of buying new clothes, we just are like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going up a size, and you keep trying to fit in the smaller size. Or maybe you then just jump sizes and everything you wear is just baggy and oversized. I mean, that's not a good thing either. So make sure, if you're in the process of losing weight or gaining weight or whatever, have a few things that fit you that you feel very confident in. I think that's really important that you feel confident, and it can't just fit you. Like you've got to sit in it, twist in it, stand in it. There's nothing worse than being in something that maybe looks great on you, but is very uncomfortable. And I'll tell you the story. This is just an awful story. I had an event that I went to, and I had the most gorgeous jumpsuit. I loved it. It was beautiful. Tried it on, looked beautiful on me. It was a sequin top, but it was a jumpsuit. So the top was all sequins, black sequin. And then it had a deep V down the middle. And then the top was like a turtleneck. So what I didn't do beforehand was sit in it. So when I got to the event, sitting, the split at the middle, very gaping and very showing off my cleavage and everything too much. And then the turtleneck part, remember it's all sequins, was so tight. And when I turned my head, it scraped on me. So I was so uncomfortable. I mean, I did get a lot of compliments of my outfit, but I was so uncomfortable the whole night. I could not wait to leave. And we left early so I could get out of that outfit. So try your outfits on. Make sure you're sitting and moving around. Anytime I wear something out and I find myself very uncomfortable in the outfit, maybe it's too tight, or maybe it's rides up too high, or just anything, I'm just like, I take it off and I put it in a pile to get rid of it, because there's just no reason to be in something, especially at our age, to be uncomfortable. You're going to find your style. Then you're going to make sure your clothes fit. And then here's the other thing, clean out your closet at least once a year. I mean, if you could clean it out every season, even better, because I think for me, when I clean out my closet, one of the things, I find things that I forgot about. And then I can realize I can put this with that. And so it's kind of discovering new things without going shopping, right? So I think that's important. And the other thing is you need to clean out some things that get worn, and just, even if you love them, if they're worn, get rid of it and replace it with something like it. Or maybe, like I said, it's too tight, or it's too loose, or it just doesn't fit anymore. It just is not the right look anymore. Or maybe it was a trendy piece of clothes, whatever. But there's times that you really need to clean out. That way you can see all the great things that you have. And so that when you do go to get dressed, it makes it so much easier. So at least once a year, I like to clean out my closet. Like I said, I do it usually twice a year, because I think that's realistic between the spring, summer wardrobe and fall, winter for me. What do you do with those items that you splurged on? I've done that, but you're like, I'm never going to wear that again. Well, if it's a really good splurge, I would say hang on to it, put it in another closet somewhere. The style may come back. A lot of times, even if the style comes back, it's still something you're probably not going to wear. But you never know. I mean, I will tell you, I hang on to more things now like that, because I'm thinking, well, maybe one day Marlo, my granddaughter who's 4, may grow up and need a costume, or just think something that I had was really cool. One of the things that I splurged on, gosh, about 4 years ago now, was a Gucci belt. Everybody was getting the Gucci belt. They were huge. And now it seems nobody wears the Gucci belts, but they were so huge, right? Well, I'm not getting rid of my Gucci belts. I got several of them now. And I'm thinking, well, sometimes I do wear them, but I'm thinking maybe they'll come back, or maybe one day Marlo will get it and she'll think, oh, this is so cool. This is so vintage. So you never know. Sometimes you need to get rid of it. If you don't have space for it, get rid of it. If you have space for it, you've got a granddaughter or somebody that might really find it intriguing. I know, like, some of the cool clothes my mom used to wear, if she had hung on to them, I think that would have been really cool. But I would tell you, only do it if they're very quality items, because if they're not quality, they're not going to hold up anyway. So, whatever. Okay, so we're going to find our style. We're going to make sure our clothes fit. We're going to clean out our closet at least once a year. Now, what about the trendy items? Should you buy into the trends or not? And again, I think this is a personal decision. I think that some items you may really like and some not. I will tell you, so this year the barrel jean came out, right? And so I was like, there is no way I would wear a barrel jean. That looks awful. No, yuck. Until I started seeing some of my friends wear them. And I was like, that really looks cute. I like that. And guess what? I bought some barrel jeans. Now I'm not going to buy 5 pairs of barrel jeans because they won't stay around probably. Who knows how long they'll stay around. I say if it works for you, then get it. Just don't overdo it and maybe be careful and don't splurge crazy when it comes to trends unless you just love it so much or something or whatever. Sometimes we splurge on trends when we shouldn't, but I think we've gotten better at that as we've gotten older because we realize that those trends come and go. And this barrel jean, I'm really not sure how long it's going to stay around. So on that trend thing, it's really, I think, a personal preference. I think if it's not for you, then don't worry about it. Don't do it. But if it is for you, then yeah, okay, do it. Okay, so find your style, make sure your clothes fit, clean out your closet at least once a year. If you want to jump on the trend, jump on the trend. That's just a personal preference. And then this last one, what to splurge on. And I've thought about this a lot. Like, what have I splurged on that I've been so happy about? And then what have I splurged on that I've been like, oh, okay. So what I have splurged on that I've been like is trendy items. I've been like, why would I have spent that money that way? I'm not going to wear it long enough. So I don't like to splurge on trendy items, but shoes. Let's talk about shoes because we really haven't talked about shoes. I think shoes, and you don't necessarily have to splurge on shoes, but good shoes are important. And it took me a long time to realize that. And it doesn't have to be just good quality shoes, but I do think good quality shoes are important. But the fit, and are they comfortable? Can you wear them for a long time? When I was younger, I would wear heels, and my toes are still paying for those heels that I wore. I will not wear a pair of shoes if they are uncomfortable. I don't care how pretty and how sexy they are. If they are uncomfortable, I'm not going to wear them. So I do think shoes is one of those things that you can splurge on and feel okay about. I think more so on an everyday shoe than even on an evening shoe because you're wearing it more. So I think it's really important to be comfortable and have the kind of shoe that, again, that's for health reasons too, right? I mean, that you can walk around because we want to be making sure that we're getting our steps in, and we can't get our steps in if our shoes are uncomfortable. So I say shoes are, yes, a splurge for sure. Another splurge that I think is a great splurge is handbags. It doesn't matter your size, right? So if you gain weight or lose weight, your handbag still works. And again, I think it's up to you, but more of a classic style that's not going to be going out of style. And there are ways to get, expensive purses without having to pay top dollar for them. One of the ways is I've gone on a website called Fashion File and gotten some purses that way that I really wanted, but I did not want to spend as much money as they were. So, there are ways about it. There are consignment stores that have great handbags. So I do think a great 1 or 2 handbag is a great way to splurge. Yeah. Another splurge, and again, it's taken me a while to learn this one, but is a scarf. It's probably 8 or 9 years ago, Jeff bought me this scarf. and it's really big. And you've probably seen it on me in pictures if you follow me on Instagram, but I don't know how big it is, but it's big. And I don't even know what it's made out of, but it was a lot of money. It had a print on it, and it was $500 at the time, I want to say. And I was like, oh my gosh. But he splurged on it. We were on vacation and he bought it for me. And I have worn that scarf over and over. I'll tell you, if you did it divided about the number of times I've worn it, it's probably the scarf is $1 per time I've worn it, because I wear it with so much and it pulls everything together for me. I can wear it in the summer. I can wear it in the fall. I can wear it in the winter. It's just a great scarf. So I don't mind splurging when it comes to a scarf. Now, I've never spent that much money on a scarf again. But this past year, when I was in Italy, I bought a scarf, and I want to say that scarf in Italy was $200 or $300. Again, I love it. It will be just like my other scarf, and it just, I make sure it has all the different colors in it that I wear, so it can just pull everything together. And a scarf really can pull it all together for you. So I love scarves. The other thing that maybe would be a good splurge, and I've done it, I've got a great coat. Something that, again, is something that you wear a lot in the winter. It brings it all together, that looks good with all your clothes, that can be casual or dressy. I think you just can't go wrong with a really good coat. And then the last thing that you could splurge on, I would say, would be jewelry. And the reason I say that, and there are all different price points on jewelry. So what's a splurge to one person may not be a splurge to another. But I tend to wear the same jewelry over and over on a casual day. Now, when I'm going out, I might pick some other jewelry. But for the most part, I wear the same jewelry every day. So I think those can be good splurges, but you don't need a lot of it. Really, especially if you're like me and you wear the same thing every day. I mean, why would you have to do one thing I get asked about all the time? I don't have it on right now, but I usually have it on, is my Tahitian pearl. And it looks like it's just a black pearl on a leather cord. And I bought that for myself back when I was probably 40. It's the first piece of jewelry I ever bought myself. And I love it so much. And it kind of really says who I am. Like when people see that piece of jewelry on me, they know. And lately I haven't been wearing it as much, but normally if you see most pictures of me, I've got that pearl on. So it was a splurge, but it was so worth it. So worth it. Okay, so let's review those 5 things one more time. So find your style. Make sure your clothes fit. Please make sure your clothes fit. Clean out your closet at least once a year. On the trendy items, go with your gut, however you feel. And then what you need to splurge on. All of these things that I've covered today are just they really depend on you. I'm going back to what I said at the very beginning. I don't think there should be rules. I think it's whatever makes you feel your best at this stage of your life. You've been around for a while. When you feel good in clothes and when you don't feel good in clothes. And don't spend your time wearing clothes that you don't feel good in. I mean, life's too short, right? So I also wanted to tell you, before I tell you that one item, so hold tight. I wanted to tell you also, watch for my upcoming gift guides. Because like I said before, I have got an Amazon shop where I'm sharing all my favorites there. Like to know it, sharing all my favorites there, linking as much as I can when I can find it online. but I'm going to be linking some of my favorite things and what I'm going to be buying people for Christmas this year. So I'll be having several different gift guides. So stay tuned for that. If you're not on my list, on my newsletter list, then make sure and click the link in the show notes here so that you will receive those gift guides along with my newsletter every week. I send a newsletter out every single week. And if you want to know what's going on around Well and Worthy Life and what's happening, that's the best place to always stay in touch with me. You can just hit reply and email me back and let me know anything that you're thinking about. So be sure and sign up for my newsletter if you've not signed up for that newsletter, so you'll get my gift guides that are coming up. Now, I'm going to tell you the one item, and if you're watching this on YouTube, you see it right here. The one item I think it should be in everyone's closet, no matter what their age, is a jean jacket. I was trying to think of that one item today, and I thought, what is one item I could not live without? And it would be my jean jacket. And this jean jacket that I have on right here is by Rag & Bone, and I've had this probably for 10 years at least, if not longer. I love my jean jacket. I can throw it on with a sundress in the summer. I can throw it on with jeans and a sweater in the winter. I can throw it. I wear my jean jacket more than anything else. I could put my scarf with it that I talked about. I mean, I just wear this jean jacket, and I think it doesn't matter your age. Like, you can always wear a jean jacket. Now, of course, I'm not going to throw it on with something dressy, but it's just to say that I think a great jean jacket is something that everyone should have. So, love to hear your thoughts on this. So if you're listening to this and you think you know one item that you think everybody should have in their closet, please be sure and message me. Let me know what you think, because I always love hearing from you guys. It really just helps me so much. And I also know that you're listening. So thank you so much for listening to this podcast today. I'll be bringing you some more solo podcasts coming up. And remember, I'm going to be releasing, I was every other week. It's going to be every single week now. So you're going to have shorter episodes, maybe some longer ones, but we're all going to do this together. And just thank you again. I really appreciate you. As Thanksgiving arrives, I think of that so much more. I am so, so very grateful for you listening to this podcast. And yeah, thanks. And I hope you have an amazing day.